anything you do that's not expected? Is there any part of you that's not protected? Don't die to be approved, it's not effective. It's a light inside of you that's been rejected. You're dancing in the darkness and you don't even know. There's a fire that's inside you and I need it to grow. Just give me something to believe in. Just one thing I can feel. I need your love and healing. Got me on my own, but you gotta show me something real. Show me something real.
Don't look in the camera
Okay.
all the time, so just like
I'll look at you.
so-
All right. I was a young boy who grew up in a village with 40 people. All I see in any direction is fields and space. There's nothing. And I think if I didn't have music to help me imagine new universes, I don't know how I survived that. And that's why I make music. I make music to take people to a different place. Have you ever listened to the Rolling Stones? Miss You. It makes you miss a party you never went to. And when you listen to Adele, it makes me miss a love I never had. That's what I'm trying to say. It takes you to places you couldn't go before. And my life was so regular and so boring and so like Yorkshire Village, just cows and cars and middle-class worries. And it just took me to a more rock and roll place. It took me to a more exciting place. And then I was able to kind of make that boring reality cooler. If I'm just in a room cooking, that's boring. But if I'm in a room and I've got Nina Simone, my baby just cares to shout. All of a sudden, this is like a movie. My life becomes like a movie, right? Because life's cooler with music. If you watch a movie and you turn the sound off, it's bullshit. And if you live your life without music, it's also bullshit. But you put some music on, like put Frank Sinatra on. Just do the ironing and put Frank Sinatra on, and you feel like a boss. I did it my way. It's kind of, yeah, that's why I'm a musician. Fucking hell, I never realised that. I started playing piano. I don't really remember it. You know, like you don't remember learning to walk or talk. It's like that with piano. My earliest memory of playing a keyboard or piano was this kind of 2-octave, terrible Casio keyboard. And I used to wake up really early before school and just play with the sound effects. All day, every day, for as long as I can remember, I've played piano. When I was a kid and other kids were outside playing, I was on piano. When I should have been doing my homework, I was on piano. I used to wake up 3 hours early just to sit on the piano before I went to school. When I was at school, I used to sneak and play the piano. I'm at university. I've never really had all that much money. And I attributed every single one of my problems to not having enough money. I had everything else. I had friends, I had a girlfriend, family's great. I love life, but I attributed all my problems to a lack of money. So I did quite well at university. I Googled the highest paid job. It was investment banking. I applied, I got the job, and then I got there and it's a computer on a desk, 20 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. And I was like, what is this shit? And I looked around and I always thought, London, New York, it's so cool, all these big buildings. And then I immediately realized all these buildings are just floor after floor of desks with computers on. And I was like, oh no, it fucking sucks. And there's nobody I want to be like. I don't want to be like my bosses. They're all boring and sad and middle-aged. And they've just given up on life. They have no dreams. So my mum was picking out yachts in the magazine and I ring her, oh mum, by the way, I've quit. What? I left my job because I realized one thing. You're young, you're old, you're dead. There's not much time and you need to react to that knowledge. Not many people do. They just don't confront it and then they die. My dad died when I was 15 and he was 50 years old and he didn't really achieve what he wanted to achieve out of life. He told me his dreams all the time. He's going to take a motorbike to America. He wants to start a business. But he didn't do that. He worked for somebody else for a long time in a job that he didn't really love, and then he died. And I was determined I would never be like that. I was determined, I don't care how hard it is. I wrote a lyric, I'd rather die under a bridge than live a life I never lived. I want to die with laughter lines on my face. I want to die with stories, love, loss, pain, colour. It doesn't have to all be great. I just want to experience life. I don't want to be scared. I want to participate. And I'll take the knocks. And I'll do whatever it takes. It can be hard, it can be easy. It doesn't matter, but I'm playing. I just want to play the game. I don't want to be a spectator, and that was kind of my mentality. We're sitting here in Russia, and I'm talking to you in this incredible studio, and I could have been sat at a desk crunching numbers. So whatever happens, this is living.
You live 2 doors down, but it feels like miles. And I wanna go around and talk to you, but I'm so scared, like a child, like a child. I know that you don't want me, I'm not your type. I know that you don't want me, but sometimes I hope you're mine. Every day, drives me wild, drives me wild. And sometimes you even talk to me, but all I do is smile, all I do is smile. I know that you don't want me, I'm not your type. I know that you don't want me, but sometimes I hope you're mine. That you don't want me, I'm not your type. I know that you don't want me, but sometimes I know that you don't want me, but tonight I hope you're mine.
I don't get sad because for me, happiness is playing a game that I want to play. And that's it. If there are obstacles, I can enjoy the obstacles. It's still a game I want to play. And I spent so much of my life playing games I didn't want to play. It's impossible to be happy. It doesn't matter how much money I make. If I don't want to do this, I'm never going to be happy. That's how life is. You've got to choose a game and then play it. And then you'll be happy whatever happens. That's why you can meet an entrepreneur who's living on a sofa and his bank account's minus 20. And he's happy because he's doing what he wants to do and it's his adventure, right? The golden rule of happiness I've discovered, irrespective of wealth, irrespective of status, power. I'm reading a book at the minute and it says everybody does everything for status. The only reason people make a decision is to increase their status. I don't think it's true. Maybe they do, but it's wrong. What I've found is the key to happiness and everything in life is how much you can give, and it naturally flows back. I'm in a fight and I don't know how many rounds there are. There could be 12, there could be 2,000. I don't know. And I'm in round 6, and sometimes it's tiring, and sometimes I get hit. And of course, sometimes I'd like to step out the ring and just have a lie down. and take that comfortable life with the monthly paycheck. Of course, sometimes that's appealing, but my heart couldn't let me get out the ring before I've won. I can't quit. I cannot lose. I'm not going to stop something as a fail. I'm not going to do that. The only way I can fail is if I stop. Otherwise, it's just a journey. I'll tell you the one thing I don't like, the one thing that breaks my heart, the one thing that makes me sad is I play shows, and every single show, a few people come up to me after and say, oh, I wish I could do that. Stop living like you've got something to lose. This is like a dumb middle class mentality. You've got nothing to lose. Like, feeling the way you feel is rock bottom. You can only go up. It can't get worse. If you go on the street and no one listens to you, you'll go home the happiest you've ever been because you did it. If you go home and one person gives you a coin, that first coin I ever got gave was the best money I've ever earned in my life. Do it. Stop being a bitch. Stop acting like you've got something to lose and being someone you don't even admire. If you be someone you don't admire every day, that's a surefire way to have a failing life. Okay, you can't play the piano. Okay, go out and clap and sing. You'll still stop people. Or you kick ass at art. So you do some paintings in the street. Or do a gallery or whatever you want to do. Or you want to do a business. Or you want to trade cryptocurrency. Or you want to go learn to code. It doesn't really matter. You're failing by not doing it. If you get stuck in with it, you'll start admiring yourself. And then it won't matter if you make it or don't. You will make it, but it won't matter too much. Because you'll start becoming like, this is the person you admire and this is who you currently are. And anything you do that starts bringing you to that, that's juice. That's what you want to be. The streets is fantastic because there are no barriers. There's no barriers to entry. I take a piano, I put it on the street, and for 5 minutes at a time, I'm a rock star. It's phenomenal. It's a fantastic way to learn how good you really are. When I first started playing in the street, everybody ignored me. You really have to fight for people's attention when you're playing in the street, and it makes you quite good because otherwise you starve. So I learned very quickly kind of what people liked and what they didn't. And luckily it coincided with what I liked because I like this crazy style. I liked it. When I first started, I was trying to be like everybody else. And nobody cared. And then when I really just let go and I was, and everybody stopped. In a way, I kind of became a victim of my own success because when I started kind of getting quite good, and I would block the streets anywhere in the world, New York, Brazil, London, Paris, Moscow. I block the street. If the street's wide, then there's more people, I'll still block it. And as soon as I block the street, I'm a criminal. I don't think there's enough criminals in the world. Because when the police run out of criminals, they start making criminals out of civilians just for something to do, someone to arrest. I very nearly gave up on music 40 or 50 times playing in the street because I didn't play music in the street to hurt anybody, like quite the opposite. And all I ever saw was happy people smiling. But the police would make me feel like a criminal all the time. I get fines. I'm a nuisance to society. I'm a danger in the street. I'm not noise. Like, I'm not making noise. I'm a rock star. Fuck you. I like playing when everyone's around the piano. Like, I want people near me. I don't want any pretentious thing. I quite like it when there's no stage. I just want it to feel like people around a piano. I like it when there's no microphone. You kind of just got to feel it to know. But there's something extremely spiritual about it. There is a profound sense of connection, and it's real. And I'm sure if we see the world with 5 limited senses, I'm sure if we had more perceptic senses, we would be able to perceive the thing that I feel when I play piano around people, because it's real, and everybody else feels it. And it's very moving. It's a sense of all being in communication with each other perfectly. I came to Russia because I was playing in the street, and a beautiful girl called Evgenia said that she wanted me to come and play at some super cool event in the Red Square. And I was like, the Red Square? Fuck, oh, so cool. So I came. It was snowy. It was exactly like I thought it would be, kind of that postcard of Moscow covered in snow. The one thing I noticed, as soon as I got to the airport, like, I'm a smiley guy, right? So I'm like, hey, here's my passport. And they're like, and I thought I was going to get searched. And I realized something. A Russian person won't pretend to like you until they like you. Like, there's no like, hey, how you doing? It's just, all right. Russian people are the most warm, hospitable, caring people. They really give a shit. You really have a group mentality. You care about the other guy. And sometimes London to me feels like a community of individuals that's very disconnected. And Russia doesn't feel like that. So I've recorded some songs in Russia before, and the sound engineer has always been a problem. My biggest challenge in recording is, how do I make it not sound like a recording? How do I, like, you know, when I play it, it's got all this fire in it. So how can I keep that fire in it, but it's got to kind of be perfect studio quality? I will give you a very short answer to that. The best studios in the world are defined as those studios which are trying to make the best music in the world. And they give a shit. And it doesn't matter if it takes 4 days and 5,000 takes. They're going for perfection. Well, I've liked everything about this studio. This genuinely is, I'm not just saying this, this genuinely is the best studio I've ever been in. Second and it's close was Dean Street. Dean Street is the home of Coldplay, Adele. Everybody is here to make the best quality art possible. So that is the most important thing. And when that's there, we can figure everything else out. We'll try that mic, we'll try that mic, we'll try this placement, we'll put the piano on the wall, I'll stand on my head, we'll do all these different things. But we're all doing it for the same reason. And that's why we never argue. Like, that's why there's no friction at all. That's why it feels very, very comfortable, is because we all know we're on the same purpose. We just want to make dope shit. Like, we're here to make the good stuff. Why do I play like I play? Because I don't understand how every other pianist in the world is so bored. I can't understand that. You've got an orchestra. A guitar's like a limited range. A violin's a limited range. A flute is a limited range. A piano, you've got boom, da, 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 da. You've got the whole orchestra. How are you sitting still? How are you bored? You've got rhythm, and you've got all of the tonality. And I wanted to play piano like Jimi Hendrix plays guitar. I want to play piano like Travis Barker plays drums. I want to play piano like Mick Jagger sings. I'm invested. It's 100%. I'll break it. I don't care. I break the piano all the time. I break stools all the time. It's an expensive pastime. But it's all for that little moment of magic. For that little...
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. River running by, you know how I feel. Birds and the bees and the trees and the breeze, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn. For me,